Adi Da is very eclectic in the way he approaches the realization of the notions and the energies he plays with. It solicits a specific kind of internal language in myself. It's like I begin to emotionally and psychologically think and feel in a different language, and I relate to it in a different way than I did before. And this is something I've acquired over the last 2 years in working with his art or being in front of his art. And he is very unique. I mean, he really and truly is. It's not only his art, it's a marvelous story. I mean, this is a spiritual teacher who follows a very distinct tradition in Western art about spirituality and art, who's very articulate, who has decided to bring his art before the world. When the proposal was first thrown in front of me that Adi Da should be in the Biennale, but it had to be a collateral. I mean, that's probably the most difficult category to get into with, 500 some applicants or whatever, and they pick 33 or 35 this year. I mean, it's not an easy chore at all. And I at first rejected the idea. I said that this is, with all the challenges in front of you, this isn't it. But then I thought, this is such a mad idea that it may just be a good idea and might work, because we really need to jumpstart international awareness of Adi Da Samraj. And the Biennale could perhaps be exactly the proper forum. It was absolutely marvelous. It's like a production, and people walk in on the opening day and go, oh, this is absolutely fabulous. And we have received very good reviews. And those people who have seen it, I mean, to walk into an exhibition like that and describe it as, quote, stunning, quote, not to be missed, quote, the finest example of digital art I've ever seen. I mean, well, something's going right. And Aquila Benito Oliva is probably, if not one of the most respected critics and curators in Italy. I mean, he curated 2 previous Biennale shows. Enormously respected individual. And he told me that he had taken the time to look at Adi Da's art and that he was genuinely impressed with it. And then I opened the issue of his perhaps curating the show. And without hesitation, he said, of course, I'd love to curate the show. And during the opening at the Palazzo Bologna, taking the Assessore della Cultura, the head of culture for Venice, through the exhibition and sitting there and explaining to her what was going on, it was just absolutely marvelous to see. So we were very fortunate to have him, actually. And for us, it was important to have a major critic who was able to position Adi Da's work in a broader historic context.
fronte all'opera di Adi Da è facile vedere pop art, optical art, tutte le referenze linguistiche, iconologiche, iconografiche possibili, ma alla fine la sintesi, l'opera finale è sempre invece una sorpresa.
It's easy to see in Adi Da's work the usual references to optical art or pop art, but in the end, it's a unique expression that is surprising. He understands that most Americans haven't studied Latin or Greek, but he could reference the work of Adi Da to the word epiphany. Epiphany means apparition, so the way to relate to Adi Da's art is that of an apparition that presents itself to the viewer spiritually, mentally, and psychologically.
Insomma, l'opera di Adi Da è un nutrimento spirituale e noi questa sera col nutrimento alimentare lo festeggiamo. Grazie.
So the work of Adi Da is a spiritual nourishment, and tonight with a physical nourishment we celebrate him.
Grazie.